We're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Hey, it's Chris, Homestead and Haraway, and we got something we got to talk about. If you'll notice the thumbnail of this video real good, you'll see that pig's got 5 feet. A local customer of mine bought that pig a few days ago, and he didn't notice it. He's on his way to becoming an experienced homesteader, but he's not quite there yet, and he just didn't notice it. He trusted the farmer to sell him a good pig. And that's not unreasonable. You should be able to trust who you're buying livestock from. Now, I'm going to try to kill 2 birds in one stone with this video. I'm talking both of you. I'm talking to the producer and the consumer. You should be able to trust your producer. If you're raising pigs to sell, take some pride in what you're doing. Quit inbreeding them. Quit breeding daddy to daughter for 6 generations. Get you a new boy every once in a while. Quit mixing these so-called heritage breeds, which I've never figured out whose heritage they're supposed to be. They're not my heritage. That's my heritage. Has been for 300 years. I don't understand how a breed of pigs that's younger than my breed can be a heritage. I'm not tracking. But that's a different rant for a different day. Unfortunately, folks, it's become a buyer beware situation. And it always has been in the homestead world. A lot of these little fad breeds have always been a pyramid scheme. If you were the first one to get in it and you could sell breeding stock, you could do pretty good. But if you were late to the game, you lose your butt. I've seen that happen with emus and ostriches and alpacas and everything else. Galloway cows, mini jerseys. You know that they fad and they burn off. They sell really good for a few years and then you can't get them away. And we tend to be a little ahead of that game, so we see it all first, you know, because we're in Homesteader Central. But you should be able to trust your producer. If you're a producer, your customer should be able to trust you. I'm going to tell you some things I've heard from my customers. And I might have told you some of this before. And I'm going to kind of paraphrase it. If the outfit looks jackleg, it probably is. If they sound like they don't know what they're talking about, they probably don't. That's 2 things right off the bat. For my producers, people don't like the pallets. People don't like shelters built out of pallets. They don't like pens built out of pallets. They don't like jackleg, halfway looking mess. Your older farmers are on to the pasture. They know pigs don't eat grass and live good. I mean, we've all tried it. It's the way we used to have to raise them in the 50s. We know it don't work. We know pigs can't live off grass, but some of you inexperienced people don't know that, and that's who you're preying on. You might even believe it works yourself. I don't know. You might have saw a YouTube video on it, and you're just trying it, have been doing it long enough to know it don't work. Just watch out, folks. The Piney Woods Rooters inbred junk is what's flooding the market now. Pigs are sky high. Something else you run into is a lot of people buying and reselling. They watch Craigslist every day. Somebody gets where they can't feed their pigs. They're trying to sell out cheap. They swoop in and buy them. Usually they're already advertised dirt cheap, and they'll go in and buy them cheaper and then try to sell them for a good pig price. And when they do that, the pig is whatever they think will sell. If they think you want red wattles or large blacks or coon, whatever they think breed is hot that minute, they'll advertise them as that breed if there's any way possible to get around to make it look like that. I see that all the time. You know, we're not the only people in the world to have good pigs. There's 6 people within 6 miles of me to have good pigs. And I'm sure there are people everywhere. I told you before, most of you good old-timey farmers don't advertise on the internet. They don't want nothing to do with it. They don't have a Facebook account. They don't know what YouTube is. Most of them don't. The only reason we're on YouTube is we got a smart TV, and I found out it was a thing. We got something called a Roku, and I found out I didn't know YouTube existed for about 2 months before we put the first video up. I'd never heard of it. I might have heard of it. I might have heard somebody say something about watching a video to fix a washing machine or something. But if you're trying to make your homestead or small farm a money maker, and you're trying to sell livestock, take some pride in what you do. Do the best you can. Have the best stock you can get. Forget the fads. Try to sell a good animal. If you're selling pork or beef, try to sell a good product. Stop telling everybody everything we've done for the last 300 years is wrong and some new way ain't nobody never heard of us supposed to be better. When we tried it 75 years ago or 100 years ago, there ain't nothing new. There ain't nothing that ain't been tried. And if you're buying pigs, just be careful. Definitely do not buy from what we call a pen hooker. Somebody that's buying to resell. And watch out for that. So you can get some real junk that way. You know, we've talked before about not buying anything at public auction. Buying it from a reseller is worse. Or somebody calls themselves a livestock trader. And watch out for the catchphrases, the kitschy cool fad stuff, you know, heritage breed, pasture raised, grass fed. Usually what that means in English is a piney woods rotor that's wormy and his mom and daddy was kin. Is what that means most of the time. It's a fancy way of saying it. If you want to know what a good pig looks like, that's one of the best ones we've ever had. That's my farm cross, Carolina Gold. I've been working on that for decades. She's a little bit more of a lard type and showing a little bit more hamp. There's just a touch of hamp in them, but it really showed up on her. That's what they normally look like. The one on this side with the Duroc build, they're both 1-year-old gilts. She's fixing to have, she lost hers. And there's one in this pen here that's walking around in the feed trough that looks just like hers. They're both of these are going to have in about a week. But I just don't understand. I mean, we've been doing this stuff as long as anybody can remember. Yeah, I take some pride in what I do. I hate no, I sold a pig. I hate to say we warranty our hogs, but if you buy a pig from me and you have a problem, you got some support after the sale. If you call me and you got a problem, if you're close enough, I'm gonna go find out what the problem is. Whether it's just one of those, you know, we're gonna make it right. If you get a pig from me and I think you did the best you could and something happened to die, you might get another one. We might give you, if we got another one, we'll give you another. And if you're selling pigs, that's the way you need to be. If you sell somebody some stock, I don't care if it's a bottle calf. If you sell somebody something and they trying to call you back 3 days later with a problem, you answer the phone. If you can help, you help. If you can't help, you do the best you can to make it better somehow. If you're selling stuff, this is directed just at the producers. If you're selling feeder pigs, bottle calves, baby goats, chicks, whatever, I want you to understand something. A lot of you homesteaders aren't wealthy people. And they're spending part of their grocery budget on this animal with the hopes of return in food. Now, that's a financial burden on a lot of them. The feed costs are sky high. Pig costs are sky high. You know, pigs are bringing the highest I ever seen them bring. Okay, well, it's a major investment. Don't leave them hanging. To my consumers, beware. I've told you this before. Everybody ain't old Farmer Smith that'd rather cut his right arm off than who do you? There's some dishonest people. Just like we've talked about these dishonest videos on YouTube. And there's a lot of videos on YouTube that are just there to get you to watch them trying to make some money, especially some of these bigger channels. You know, they try to emit a persona, you know, when it ain't exactly true. That's in the real world too. So be careful. I'm seeing too many people get stuck. Just be careful. With all that being said, remember you can do all this. You just won't never get it done sitting on the couch. You'll never apply a field but turn it over in your mind. So get up. Everything's high right now. It ain't gonna get no better. If you've been putting off doing it, go ahead and do it, because you ain't no need to wait for the prices to come back down, because I don't think they're gonna do it for a right good while. Panels are $30 a piece. Now, I mean, it's expensive. But there's ways around it. We'll do a video tomorrow on some new hog pens I built fairly inexpensively. We've talked about them before, the hog wire pens. They're nowhere near sturdy. They're not escape proof, but they're better than just hot wire. And far less trouble than that old net hot wire that don't last work. So, I mean, there's ways around it. You'll never apply a field but turn it over in your mind. So get up, get after it, go do it. If I can help you, I'll help you. There's 45,000 other people on YouTube that'll help you. And it's something I'd like to encourage you to do, check around in your neighborhood. You may have an old farmer that would be willing to help you local. You just ain't finding him because he ain't on the internet. Go hang out at the feed store a little bit. Go hang out at the hardware store. Look around. If you see an old pickup truck, it'll be a half-ton, two-wheel drive pickup truck. If you see old half-ton pickup signs, it'll be a three-quarter ton. Back of it's full of baling wire and tools, and you can kind of spot an old farmer. He have a dark tan, have a little bend in it. He won't have on the nicest clothes in the world. Have a pair of boots on that look like you used them to get the bobcat out of the mud with. But some of them are pretty friendly old folks, and they wouldn't mind passing on their knowledge. I don't mind passing it on. I want to see people do good. And most of you old blood farmers are that way. They want to see you do good. They want everybody to succeed. They ain't trying to get over on nobody. But seek them out. They'll help you. And they'll give you knowledge just pinpointed to your locality. I mean, they'll know exactly when to plant your potatoes in the area you live in. They'll know exactly who to go talk to about a good hog. They'll tell you who's got a good reputation. Maybe that'll help you a little bit. We got to go pick squash right now. Maybe that'll help you. And I appreciate you watching, and we'll talk to you later.